It was interesting about your previous idea, Pursuit. I remember this time period in the 2010, 2011 time period, right when this boom started, right? You started that company right after the financial crisis or thereabouts?
Yeah, I was in business school actually at the time. So we kind of had the idea in 2009, 10, and in 2010, we started building it out. And what we probably should have done was build out an ATS, like a greenhouse or lever. But we instead tried to build out a recruiting product to help with referrals at companies. And so that was a great experience for me. I learned a ton in kind of launching something for the very first time. But yeah, that was an interesting period of time to start a company because everyone was still recovering from the financial crisis, but there are a lot of like great companies built out of that vintage.
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, that's when I started angel investing, was right around that time. So, if the market crashes in the next 2 or 3 years, just so you know, that is the time I'm going to push all the chips in, which is essentially what I did during this financial crisis that happened in March and April. I just put my equities in Wealthfront on 10 and poured a bunch of equities and then started investing in more startups because I knew there would be a lull. Pursuit was a pretty good idea, actually, your previous company, which was using social networks and your sort of your network to then win, to get bounties or, what do they call them? Yeah, whatever.
Referral
bounty.
Bonuses.
A referral bonus, right. The referral bonus was a big thing when there was a talent war. But that business didn't work, or it was just too small of a business? What did you learn? You said you learned a bunch. What did you learn about why it didn't work? And then take me through your process of saying, I'm giving up, I'm just going to sell it and go and lick my wounds and work at Facebook for a couple of years.
So I had two co-founders who are also engineers. Like I'm a software engineer by background, and we were solving a problem that we had, like scaling engineering teams, and found that most of our best hires were referrals, but there wasn't a great way to, kind of programmatically do that. And so, we actually had a bunch of ideas on a list, and this was just the first one. And we said, okay, we'll just try to see how it works. So one of my big lessons is like, you do not have that much time as a company. As soon as you start writing code, you're really entrenching yourself. So we ran it for about a year. We launched it. I think we got like 50, 60 companies signed up using it. And the real big oops moment was that we realized the people who make the most referrals and are best at making referrals, like I'm sure, Jason, that you make referrals to your companies all the time. You're probably a great source of someone, a talented person looking for their next thing, connecting them to the right people. But once you get money involved, people feel weird about it. So
yes, incentives matter. Yeah.
Incentives matter. So we actually did get a lot more sharing of job opportunities, but people went out of the network in order to refer those people. They didn't go back through. So our kind of thesis around money itself could help motivate people to spread the word about high value jobs ended up just not being quite right. So
it's interesting. Everybody's kind of learned that over time. I remember at my couple startups ago, Mahalo, we had Mahalo Answers, and Quora had done a Q&A site, and Google was actually doing a question and answer site like Quora, and they were paying researchers at Google for this Google research project. I forgot the name of it exactly. I might have called it Google Answers, actually. And they had full-time librarians who you could pay $30 to go research something for you if you needed it, right? So if you're like, I need to know more about this, and that was just a particularly hard search to do, they would do it for you. And Quora added some kind of gold or some kind of way to incent people, and you could earn gold and I could earn gold, and that would help you promote stuff. And it turned out that's not why people use Quora. The reason people use Quora is like you did when you started DocSend, is somebody's like, how do I put a password on a PDF? How do I track a PDF? And it's like, use DocSend. There's other motivations, like people want to get status, and status is just such a much bigger motivator for folks. So everybody knows that Zendesk is the go-to tool for customer support. It's the gold standard. But what you may not know is Zendesk also offers a suite of sales tools designed to remove the difficulties of sales software, so sales teams like yours can go spend more time on what really matters to their business, which of course is having better customer conversations. Even better, Zendesk is offering this suite of sales tools plus their industry-leading support software for free for 6 months as part of the Zendesk for Startups program. Think about that. Along with the free access to all of Zendesk as part of the program, you'll also get access to Zendesk's community of startup founders and partners who will teach you all the best practices to better serve your customers, and they'll even offer dedicated onboarding guidance and support to get you up and running in no time. Steezy, one of our great investments here at Launch, they teach people how to dance. It's a subscription service. Think Calm meditation, Steezy for dance. They rely on Zendesk and they love it. They use the combination of Zendesk Explore and their ticket tagging system so that they can track which features their users want and that they're most excited about. And then they take all of that information from the customer support channel and they give it to the product team, right? Get 6 months of Zendesk for free at zendesk.com/twist. And to qualify for this program, because they're giving it to you for free, they just ask that you have under 50 employees and you've raised a Series A or below, right? So if you're a Series B and you got 100 employees, why don't you go ahead and pay for the product, okay? But this is Zendesk for startups. It's free. Zendesk.com/twist.